All right, we're here at 5573 Woodland Drive in Douglasville to attempt a repair on the back slope of the roof due to tree damage that has occurred on this slope and the left slope of the home. We're going to attempt to separate the shingles, then remove shingle X, and then try to reinsert shingle X with a proper installation technique to show if the shingle is repairable or not. So we're going to start with a few different tools that we have. We're going to be very careful about how we do this. We're going to start on shingle X with a flat bar, a small flat bar that if the shingles are sealed properly, it will require some resistance. If not, then we'll go slow and easy to make sure that the shingle is in good shape. So again, we're going to start with this one. It's got low slope on it. The shingle appears to have not been sealed at all. So over time there's been dirt that's gotten into the shingle seal, which means the shingle has not been sealed. We'll continue to move. We'll have to separate shingle 3 from shingle 1. Again, same or lack of resistance there. We'll move to shingle 5. Right here at the joint with shingle X, it's taking a little bit more force to move along that. That's separated. We're now going to have to separate shingle 6 from shingle X. Again, easily separated. We'll go up to shingle 8 because the nail from shingle X, the top nail is right here. So we'll have to separate shingle 8 to allow for the removal of that nail. Again, easy separation. Shingle 7, we're having to work a little bit harder here. The seal's a little better. So there's a couple spots we had trouble moving it. It didn't cause any mat transfer or anything like that, but we could see the nails are a little further up, right at the top of this shingle where it overlays. It also caused the separation of the teeth when we remove this. So we're having the same issue here. But we'll continue to work for shingle X to remove those nails. Now, to go further up underneath that shingle, I'll have to use a different tool. This is the Clawverine. It will get all the way up under the nail line, and then I can work all the way up to shingle 7 and 8 with that. So unfortunately what we're noticing is this shingle is so stiff it pulled through the nails. It pulled through the nails, so I'm going to continue to work up top to separate. We can hear it pulling through those nails. I'm going to go up under shingle 5 and again try to separate those nails. And now shingle 6, the same thing. So that should allow shingle X to remove. We're having to do a little bit more work to get that out. I'm trying to apply as little force as possible to get that out, but still needing force to be applied. So you can see the shingle's been nailed in 2 different spots. And I'll mark those spots for us to see. These are the nails that are driven through that shingle and required us to go up under 2 different rows of shingles to remove it. Now I have to go in and remove those nails so that we can properly reinstall a shingle. We're going to set this to the side. can see as I'm doing this, I'm tearing this shingle below it where that nail removal is. We're having to manipulate that shingle to work with it. So this one's driven down flat. This one is driven down flat. Go back up to the nails above it. We're having to go in and pop the nail up and then remove that nail. And every time we do this, what we're doing is we're pulling these shingles more and more and separating them. But we're still doing it within what the manufacturer's required. Okay, that nail's driven flat and through there. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to reinstall so that we don't have any issues with material itself. But we're going to look at this material. We're going to try to identify it, but since we did remove this one and is the one we're looking at, it has separated the laminate itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to reinstall this shingle so that there's no matching technicality issues, and see how that goes with nailing it back in. So we're going to lay this flat the way it should have been installed initially. Make sure that our laps are proper. And we're going to take two different options to nail this. We're going to take just a hammer and nail. We're going to hand nail this back in. Right in the nail zone. Problem with that is I've now caused an edge damage to this shingle here, where this hammer has now hit it because I'm trying to hold it up and also install at the same time. And the nail has to be driven flat, so now I'm gonna have to create more of an issue with this shingle going up. That nail has been driven flat into the nail zone, but what we've now caused is shingle 5 has delaminated from the one above it where its nail zone is. So we're going to mark shingle 5 as damaged. Obviously we're not worried about shingle X because that is our shingle that we're working with. It was already damaged. We're going to continue to drive nails in at the right angle. So what we're having to do is we're having to move that shingle up more. And that has now caused that to crack again. But again, it's already damaged, so we're not worried. We're going to continue to work with shingle X and get those nails in. Since that's caused a problem, we're going to try to go to a hammer that already has a magnet on it to try to help. Again, I've hit that on accident, and I've had to lift past where the shingle should be lifted to get this nail in. I've now had to lift shingle 6 and it's ripped through. Shingle 6 is now damaged right there on that edge. So shingle 6 is not usable anymore. We're going to still pull it up and we're going to try to re-nail in the nail zone. And as we do that, continue going up, we need to come to shingle 8. We will show you, this is what we call a square. For us to get that nail in right there, I have to be able to get past this to re-nail. I'm gonna have to do this on shingle 6 and shingle 5. So if I'm pushing this past this to get this nail in here, what issues am I causing here? I'm now causing this to tent or break free of its seal.